Welcome to High Value Blueprint, the space where bold ideas meet real talk. In today's video, we're taking a deep dive into a controversial moment from Kevin Samuels that's lighting up the timeline. Let's break it down, challenge the narrative, and see what truths we can uncover.
This is what they think. Hello.
Hi. I was not expecting that. I'm sorry. I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. How old are you?
I had to think about this for a second. I'm 39 this year.
39. Are you single or are you married?
No, I was married. I'm divorced.
All right. So talking about sharing men, especially
Yes.
over 35. What do you think?
I think you are completely accurate because you have to be realistic. I mean, when you talk about children, your energy has to be there. When you talk about a career to provide, your energy is there. You have to have time for your wellness, which means your meal prep, your gym time, and you don't have many hours left to give. That's fact.
So I think it's funny that so many women today don't realize that what they're really offering to men is so sparse. Hello, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. How old are you?
33.
33. So you're almost at the deciding age. Are you single or are you married?
I'm single.
Any children?
I have one.
How old?
5.
So, will you be down to share after 35?
I think living in today's world, yeah.
Now, what's different about
Definitely.
today's world than yesterday's world?
I feel that the women today are a little bit more desperate and the guys are a little bit less patient. So it's a challenge for the women that want to have a man just to themselves. I feel like it's more of
The women are more desperate and the men are less patient. Ma'am, how long have you been watching my program?
my mom tagged me in one of your videos. She's the one that watches you all the time.
So, have you ever watched it?
Uh-uh.
What you'll probably find when you go back and watch it is women really don't want relationships today.
That's the thing.
But you said they're desperate. Desperate for what?
Sex.
They can have sex. Why would a woman ever be desperate for sex? All you gotta do is walk out. You can get sex. You said women are desperate and men are less patient. Women are desperate for sex?
Yes.
What do you think, 39? You think she's got something here? Because I'm not understanding.
I don't know if you can generalize and say that women are desperate for sex. I think some people could be desperate for sex.
I don't think women are desperate. I don't think women are desperate for anything. I think women believe, and I think the videos have shown that women think they got all the time in the world. They can get whatever they want. All they gotta do is manifest and wish upon a star. That's why they're not willing to settle.
I've been single since I've had my son. I haven't been in any relationship.
Okay, but the market is what it is. So the reason I asked, you said in today's time, and what's different about today's time than yesteryear? Let me ask you this question: When on the face of the planet have women had men who are in the top 20%, top 10% all to themselves ever? What country? What system of government? What system of what monetary system? Where?
I think it's always been since like forever.
Did women have had men to themselves?
No. It's just more common. It's more common now. It's, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no, ma'am, it's not. It's less common now.
really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, ma'am. Listen. Would you happen to be a Christian?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes, I am.
Just go to the Bible. Abraham, Sarah, Hagar, Solomon, how many wives did these men have? Poly relationships have always been the norm. They're less frequent today, and women, Abraham and Sarah went and got Hagar for Abraham. That's what a good woman does. Oh, 39 says, you know what, guess what, Gavin? Don't have that kid yet, but I am down for your program. I'm on your purpose, so let me go holler at the chick with the bonnet on or the thing. Go ahead and get that baby in. That's in your Bible, ain't it? Yes?
Oh yeah. It would take a strong, sure woman to
I'm trying to
be.
understand, but you just smiled, you didn't say anything. I'm saying that's in the Bible, right?
No.
Right.
I'm not refuting anything that you're saying.
I know 39. I'm asking the other ones.
Yeah.
Is that the Bible?
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Okay, so I don't know if you're nervous, but the answers you're giving don't seem like you're in today's world. So women are not desperate. And men are less patient. Men are just, what do you mean men are less patient?
It just seems like they're not going to put up with it. Like you said, the higher value guys are not going to settle for those women that have lower value and put them on a pedestal like they want, like the women want. You know what I'm saying? Like they move on because
When did men used to have more patience?
Well, I don't know if it came out wrong. Probably don't mean patience, but just like not sticking around. Guys don't stick around like that no more.
Ma'am, we have in the black community, we have almost a 72% divorce rate. 90% of divorce actions are initiated by women. How many women do you know? Who do you think leads relationships more? Boyfriend, girlfriend, and/or marriage? Who leads relationships? Is it men or women?
The man in the marriage.
The man leaves the marriage? When
Yeah.
relationships end, when relationships terminate, when somebody ends them, who do you think ends relationships most of the time, men or women?
I think it's both.
No. I said, which one ends most? It's not 50-50.
I don't know. The men?
Poor thing.
Or is it the women?
Ma'am, I just said in our community, with the highest divorce rate, women are initiating 80 to 90% of divorces. You go ask 10 women on the street about their relationships and ask them how many they walked away from or ended versus how many the men did. So you're saying men are leaving, I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds to me like you're just not out in the world today. Which is, I guess that's something, but
What do you think?
I think you're in trouble. I think you're in trouble. You got a kid, you don't understand what's going on out here, and you don't want to.
I don't.
Well, the fact of the matter is, watch my program. You'll find out a lot. I can't bring you up to speed, but if you have a kid, I will say this: do you want to have another kid?
No.
Do you want to be married?
At this point, I don't know. Probably.
We don't want to be married today. I just showed it. It's exactly what I just said. I don't want to be married. So
No, I do. I do.
So I asked you if you want to be married. You said at this point I don't know, but now you say you do. But you do have a kid, a 5-year-old, right?
Yeah, I do want to be married.
Did you go to college?
Yes, I did.
Did you graduate?
Yes.
What's your degree in?
Well, I have a certificate in cosmetology and an MUA in makeup.
So you're going to be an average earner.
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't have the choice not to get married.
Right.
You're too broke to be single. You need a man. And I'm not supposed to say that, but yes, to get to the end of life, you don't get there on one income.
Yeah, exactly.
Much less with a child.
You're right.
So
I do.
If that's the case, you better turn around to the world and approach it like you need it, other than whatever world you've been living in, because this conversation ain't connecting like
But
somebody
you
who's
know
in a
what,
relationship.
Kevin, let me tell you.
Mm-hmm.
When I go out there, and I don't know if it's because maybe I'm intimidating or I'm too strong. I mean, I have things going for myself. I have good income, and I have my own place and I have my own car and things. But it
So,
just seems like guys don't really like
Off today?
they look at me, but
Beautiful.
they don't want
Oh,
to like approach me.
we don't care
okay.
about nothing you just said. Why do we care about your car and your job?
Yep, the oxygen's coming in right here for you.
Why do we care about
So
your
you
car
get the
and your
normal.
No, I'm just saying that's what I have. Like I'm not walking. I'm not poor. I'm not living on the street. But I'm just saying, like,
man,
I'm not telling you what I have, what kind I have.
you're a single woman, fine, with a child, okay, and you're doing what an adult does. That
Yeah.
just makes you functional, okay? Why should a guy approach you? Why should a man approach a functioning woman with a kid? If he wants a relationship in the marriage, why should he approach you?
I don't know. I thought that's what happens.
Well, that's part of the problem. You got a kid now, so you got to grow up. You can't just think what happens. You got to know and figure it out because you're supposed to teach it. But guys aren't approaching you. The problem is what? Guys or you?
I think it's me.
There you go. Therapy.
Therapy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I got therapy.
Oh, okay. I can't. Boy, woo. Oh, boy. All right. So, and I let that go not to try to be embarrassed, but I want women today are not treating relationships like they're serious. It's like men are just a toy, something to pass the time with, to keep you kind of occupied. It's almost like, have you ever seen a kitten play or a cat play with a ball of yarn or something and then get bored? Well, if you ever see cats, they don't do things for long, they get bored.
Yeah.
And women today seem to treat relationships like, whatever. I'll just have some sex from you, I'll take some DNA from you, and I'll have dinner from you, but I don't want to do any of this too long. I'm getting bored. Let me go find something else. Let me go run up a tree. Let me chase a cricket. Let me chase a squirrel. Let me eat a cricket. Let me do this. Some catnip. It's like, and the men are like, how are we supposed to move forward and progress and build the family, then the neighborhood, and the community, and the city, the town, the city, the nation, with women who are just, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on. And I'll just have babies and whatever. I'll just figure it out. It's just men can't walk through the world like that. The world is serious for us. And what men are is frustrated. Go ahead.
Why do you think it happened?
Huh?
And where do you think? I said, why should it happen? And where in the timeline?
Where,
Do you think?
okay, you start breaking up. Where do I think it happened?
Yeah, where did that shift happen? When did it happen?
Roughly around the late 60s, early 70s, with feminism, third wave feminism.
So when,
You're breaking up. But you can go back and look. You can go back and look at the late 60s, at the height of the civil rights movement. Lyndon Baines Johnson, the Great Society. Feminism was used to kind of blunt the gains of the civil rights movement, because they took the civil rights movement that was impacting the black community, black men and women, raising, and then here come the feminist movement to saying to black women, hey, come join us to get women's rights and equality. And we just came off our own equality fight, so our women went off saying, well, yeah, we need equality too. The difference is black men ain't have no power over black women to oppress you. You need equality with us. You already had equality. But then you get, you get feminism, the advent of abortion. So women have reproductive choice. You get better contraceptives. And then you start getting more women going to school into the workplace. So basically, black women were chose to take all these gains education, reproductive choice, and all this stuff. But it did not mean you had to separate from your men. It all happened to all groups of women. Then Title IX came along, and women counted more. Title IX, affirmative action, and it all culminated in the 80s and 90s when black women were given preferential treatment in hiring decisions and things like that. And the funny part is, in Generation X, all the strides that have been made in the black community struggle up through the civil rights movement, Generation X pretty much turned around and said, "This is all mine." The baby boomers, and Generation X kind of turned their backs on the familial traditions, and that's what we're kind of grappling with right now. Whether they understood the long-term ramifications or whatever, but basically, women separated themselves from their men to the point to where I don't need you. No, you don't need me for food, protection, shelter, but you've traded in your physical man for the government institutions, the police, fire, security. That's your man now. Your
Employment.
Who gives you a job? Get your money from the job. So what do you need a man for now? Sex, and if you decide you want to reproduce, a baby, but then after that. But you got to ask yourself, why did our women choose to oppose the relationship? Because you don't hear other women saying we don't need no man like black women do. And that can go back down to, there's a lot of people thinking it goes back to the 13th Amendment, white supremacy, racism, generational trauma that had to do with chattel slavery. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. But what we cannot do is act like that we don't have a problem. In the 60s, the single birth rate was around 25%. There was a national cry for emergency. Not 8 out of 10 kids are born out of wedlock. Black women are married at a 1 in 4 rate, and it's only declining. And even if you disagree with it, even if people disagree with everything I've ever said, you just got to ask yourself a question. Does the modern woman, black woman in particular, really seem to be approaching the relationship market like they really truly want to get married?
No, I know you're speaking specifically about the black woman. I mean, I'm from Canada, so I'm surrounded by a lot of Caucasian women as well, but I find that the same sentiment and the same attitude is prevalent where I am. And so
it can be prevalent. It can be prevalent, but you also have a culture, an intact culture. We don't. So even men from Mexico, who may be from lower on us socioeconomically, they still have an intact culture where men have a position of power. That men have the position of a patriarchal society, white America, Asian America, Middle East, and black. In this country, black people have a different thing. And it's a culture thing, because when have black men ever been on top of the community in black America? And that's what we're kind of struggling with. What are we going to do? Do we want to look like patriarchal communities like everybody else? Or do you want to submit, and then that means you're going to have to voluntarily cooperate and give up some of your freedom for the benefit of the whole? Sounds good, but most people don't want to give up what they got. That's why
they want to hold.
That's why I talked about this high value thing. It's not that women really want a man making some money, but they want a lifestyle. I run into more women who want to be retired by 45, living on the beach. And I'm just like, and at the ultimate point, I'm like, if we're going to have anything, women are going to have to seriously ask themselves, do you want to be married? Because there's an old saying that a nation can rise no higher than the moral position of its women. So I'm looking at women, and I'm like, well, how are you women approaching relationships? And for most, it's a game or a joke. It's funny. I think that people misunderstand and see what I do in the back and forth, and they take the sound bites, not understanding that this is the straw. Women are the straw which we make bricks. And I ask women, are you as serious as your grandmother was at your age? Oh, no. Well, then what the fuck? How are we supposed to get anywhere as men
Yeah.
aren't taking it seriously.
But it's interesting when you mention that we are not thinking of whole, we're all thinking so individual. So when individuals are coming together, you know, even when you're looking at a marriage, it's like, well, what am I getting out of it? As opposed to what we going to be building to reach a common objective, right? And so divorce rates also, you know, in the background being very dark, and they are high. It's almost like people are almost planning for eyes of the relationship as opposed to putting all of their effort into.
Well, the sad part is in the West, hyper individualism penalizes women more at the end of life than it does men. Because if it's all about me, what am I going to get out of it? Cool. But whether it don't matter about the education or whatever. At the end of the day, black men earn more than black women, and you can have a PhD education, but the numbers tell the story. And the bottom line is, if 75% of our women are earning less than $50,000, and you're not getting married, so you don't have two families, a nuclear family and extended family. No Western civilization is set up to care for individual aged people. So what's going to happen? We're about to start seeing we're about to start seeing a lot of single spinsters, and there is no. It's not going to look pretty, because you know what happens to men who can't afford to take care of themselves? They don't get to go to the government and petition for more benefits. They end up on the street, and that's what you're starting to see. The largest group of first-time homeless is women, and women with children, because they're unattached to a man. That's why I told that woman, if you are choosing to be, I asked you if you have a college degree. She said yes. Didn't sound like she had a college degree to me. Sounded like she had a certificate. Sounded like to me she has a middle-class job, and that'll work as long as she doesn't have any serious health illness or whatever. She can work and make paycheck to paycheck, live a middle-class life until something happens. But she will not be able to have enough money to retire on. She will not have a savings. And then when she can no longer work, where's the support system? It ain't the government. The support system is supposed to be your family. So women, the notion that you don't need no man, you need a family, you need a network. And that's what I'm telling women today. It's easy to say you'd rather die alone until you look at 60-plus-year-old women out there doing this shit. I don't just say this to be triggering to women. I'm looking at women dying alone. It ain't pretty, it ain't sexy. And many of the women are they're too prideful, too embarrassed, too ashamed, too whatever, to come and tell the stories to the younger women saying, don't do what we did. But that's who I talk to often, those older women in the baby boomer generation. Keep telling them. Go in my comment section, women in their 70s, thank you for saying what we did not know how to say. What am I ultimately saying? That we're better together than apart, and we do need one another. Men and women are different. We were designed for different purposes, and we're better together. But in order to be together, you got to not be so selfish, because it ain't about you when you come together. Peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter is tasty, jelly good than a motherfucker. Together they make a good sandwich. But do you want to eat a jar of peanut butter, a jar of jelly? But you could eat a whole lot of goddamn PB&J. Have a good one, man.
So she's 39, she's divorced, but I've got to give her credit. This woman came in with an open mind. She wasn't combative, she wasn't dismissive, she wasn't rolling her eyes. She was actually listening, genuinely trying to learn. And that alone makes her stand out. Because most women who come into these conversations already have their defenses up. They don't want to hear the truth, they just want to argue. Now here's the point that really stuck. Feminism is for the workplace. That's where it belongs. Feminism is about equal pay, equal opportunity, breaking glass ceilings. But femininity? That's for your relationships. That's what men are looking for at home. And the problem we see today is that too many women bring feminism into their relationships and then wonder why things don't work. Ladies, let me make it plain. Men don't want to compete with you at home. We don't want to come back from a long day of battling the world only to battle our woman in our own house. We want peace. We want softness. We want respect. That's where femininity comes in. Cooperation, nurturing, grace. The workplace needs feminism. Your household, your relationship needs femininity. And yes, I've got to say it. Black women struggle with this separation the most. That's why the marriage rates are the lowest. Too often, the independent boss attitude that might help you climb the corporate ladder is the same energy that's killing your chances with men. You can't bring boardroom energy into the bedroom and expect romance, cooperation, and lasting commitment. It doesn't work like that. The truth is, the women who learn this balance early are the ones who win. They know when to switch it on and when to turn it off. They know when it's time to lead at work, but also when it's time to embrace their feminine role at home. And when you do that, men respond. Men protect. Men provide. Men commit. But when you blur the lines, when you bring your career mindset into your relationship, men disengage. So at 39, divorced, she might have gone through some things, but the fact that she's open to learning, open to listening, that gives her a chance. That shows she's willing to grow. And that's the first step for a lot of women. Stop arguing with reality